Kia ora everyone, I'm Donnalouise from New Zealand and welcome to my YouTube channel for the love of puzzles. I have some speed puzzling news to share with you all. Now I know some of you watching right away will be like, what is Donnalouise doing with a 500-piece Educa Jigsaw puzzle at the table? I know. I competed in my first online jigsaw puzzle race and it was great. It was so much fun. It was put on by Speed Puzzling Australia. I'll leave a link to their Facebook page in the description below. And basically they're doing, I believe, monthly events. They were able to ship me the jigsaw puzzle in time here in New Zealand. So if you're in Australia or New Zealand and want to try to do more competitions, check them out. I like the idea that they're trying to have more competitions available to Australians and New Zealanders, so we're better prepared when we go to places like Worlds, because there are some countries that you could do a speed puzzling competition like every weekend if you wanted to. Here in New Zealand, it's quite limited. We do now have the New Zealand Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and they're doing more and more competitions as well. And also in Australia, you have the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and they recently did an online speed puzzling competition as well, which was, I didn't participate, but I saw like the photos and stuff. And so we're just trying to have more events so that we could try to be better prepared. And it's not just to get faster. It's more to be prepared for a competition environment. Of course, online is not exactly the same as in person, but one thing is the same. It's the shock, the unknown, the maybe being overwhelmed at opening the package and seeing what puzzle you have inside, which was what I encountered. Yes, they didn't announce the brand of jigsaw puzzle we were going to be speed puzzling. And they shipped us all the puzzles. I had the package. They gave us like a minute because everybody kind of had different packaging and mine came internationally. So we had to use scissors to open it all. Once we had the puzzle there, we literally had a few seconds to have a look and then the clock started. Well, of course, you know me. I get too emotional with jigsaw puzzles. I need to, but I don't want to change. No, I don't. That's who I am. It's who I'll always be. And so immediately I saw the back of the box and I saw Educa and I went, oh no, it's an Educa. But then I saw the image and I went, I love this image. This is like a perfect image for me. And so I debated quickly whether I should try to sort. And I know you could grab the blue train, the red train, maybe some other things, but it's a very, very busy image. And I just decided build as I sort. So I built piece by piece, but I was being more selective as to which pieces I was grabbing from the box and placing. And I left a lot of the darker pieces to the end. And I did sort to the side like pieces I was unsure of that went towards the top, like the rafters and those windows. I did have off to the side some red pieces from the train, some floor pieces. What annoyed me with Educa is that the pieces that don't fully interlock. So I had built up part of the red train off to the side, and it may not be that visible in the time lapse. And as I tried to move it into place, I couldn't. I literally had to rebuild that whole train part one piece at a time. And the way that I do my jigsaw puzzles in this fashion, it's all about being able to build and then shift the pieces and move them until, you know, the image comes together. It was very difficult to do that. In fact, there was one section, I swear it had like 5 of those, I'll call them no prong pieces. You know, they just have the little bump, the little hump, and none of them are fully interlocked. And you're trying to move 5 pieces around and it's not working. So for me, the difficulty was not the image, it was the crumbliness of the pieces and the non-interlocking pieces. But it was really good for me to have that moment of, oh my goodness, it's an Educa, what am I gonna do? And to try to get over that. And that was good practice. I asked Allison to come over, so she's actually off camera, just puzzling off to the side. And maybe maybe I rely a lot too much on Allison right now. I love pairs puzzling with her. I feel that's when I puzzle at my best. And I love like speed puzzling next to her. And so I'm like, Allison, how can I fit you in my suitcase to come to Worlds? But, you know, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. She's just such a great support and so encouraging. So she'd come over and we were on a Zoom call. So I had one of my cameras recording the time lapse, and I had my iPad on the Zoom call, and she would try to look and see, and she'd go, it's really hard to tell. I can't tell who's where or what, but it seemed like a lot of people did build the blue train, the red train, and maybe did some sorting. At the end, you know, someone said, Donnalouise, you have quite an interesting technique there, and yes, I do. I know it's not standard or typical, and maybe it is slower. I don't know, but I'm not going to say I can't change or I don't change, but I definitely did these two jigsaw puzzles completely different and very different times. But I am very, very pleased with how well I did. So my official time was 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 18 seconds. 7th place out of 22 people. Now, Hannah came in first, and her time was 53 minutes and 45 seconds. So the difference between my time and Hannah's time was 17 minutes and 33 seconds. Hopefully I've done the math correctly. Now to see like, have I gotten better, worse, how am I doing? Hannah was at Worlds, and Hannah actually finished 19th overall in individuals in Worlds. Amazing. And their time at Worlds was 51 minutes and 15 seconds. So very close and comparable to the time it took them to do this jigsaw puzzle. Now, if you remember at Worlds, I was 172nd, 172. And my time for that finals puzzle at Worlds was 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 25 seconds. The difference there with Hannah's time was 34 minutes and 10 seconds. So at Worlds in September, it took me 34 minutes longer than Hannah, but at this online speed puzzling competition, it took me 17 minutes longer than Hannah. To me, that shows progress, that shows improvement. Of course, like, there's factors you can't account for, the nervousness of being in the crowd with everyone, the puzzle cut. But at Worlds, I think that was an easier image. Overall, perhaps, definitely a better piece cut. I do love a busy image, but for me it felt like, oh wow, looking at these numbers, I'm like, I am getting better, I am improving. At some point, I know I'll reach my limit. I don't know if speed puzzling, at some point, I don't know if age is a factor or just having done enough puzzles that you realize you reach your peak, you have an average of how fast you do a jigsaw puzzle, and are there ways to actually get better at that point? I don't know. But I'm so pleased and proud with how far I've come and where I'm at. And if this is where I stay, I'm more than happy with that, because in the end, I just love puzzling and I really do enjoy speed puzzling. Some puzzles frustrate me more than others. I'm better at some than others, and that's okay. Perhaps I'm not a consistent speed puzzler, and that's fine too. But, you know, I just have so much fun, and I'm so happy that now we have another source to do online speed puzzling competitions. I actually recommended and asked that perhaps they could do a pairs. Again, I love puzzling with Allison, so if they did an online pairs competition, Allison and I would definitely enter. So again, Speed Puzzling Australia, I'll leave a link to their Facebook page down below. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, sign up for a couple of their online competitions. It was lots of fun. My question to you all is, well, first a comment, then a question. If I would have known the brand of the jigsaw puzzle, I probably would not have entered, okay? I'll admit that. So do you like to know the brand being used at a competition before you choose to enter or not? One of the reasons why they're not releasing the brands is because they want to prepare us for that moment of opening the puzzle and going, the unknown. They want to prepare us for the unknown, which I think is very, very smart and very, very helpful. And in the end, I did a lot better than I thought I would on an Educa puzzle. And I'm actually really, really pleased. So then looking back, if I would have known the brand and not entered, knowing what I know now, I would have been disappointed that I wouldn't have entered. So anyway, my question is, do you think competition should release the brand of puzzle being used? Would you prefer if they release the brand of Jigsaw puzzle that they're being used? And would you choose whether or not to do the competition if you knew the brand? Would I speed run another Educa puzzle? Probably not willingly. The thing is, I love their images. They're perfect for me. Their piece cut and their non-interlocking pieces just drive me up the wall. And for me, it makes it difficult to move sections around. So yeah, but I did have lots of fun, and I'm glad I was able to participate, and I hope that they do a pairs competition. And yeah, check them out. In other speed puzzling news, I just have to say that the third battle of the YouTube puzzlers has surpassed all my expectations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There is, 4 days left to put your time in on the Google form. I'll leave a link to all that in the description below. And we have surpassed 200 entries. 200 entries, 200 different people have done the Jigsaw puzzle along with us. I don't know what to say, I'm lost for words. The last battle of the YouTube puzzlers, we had, 63 entries? And I thought, oh, if we could get to 100 this time, I'd be so happy. 200! So thank you so much. I'm already working on the next battle of the YouTube puzzlers. I've taken in some feedback. I'm gonna make a few changes, make it a little bit different. Hopefully you'll enjoy them, and hopefully you'll be able to get the puzzle and puzzle along with us. I'm just overwhelmed by the support. And I just wanna again thank Jeanette, Juby, Judy, Vicky, and Dan for joining us this time around. So much for supporting me in this little crazy adventure of the Battle of the YouTube Puzzlers. And thank you to all of you that participated. I know some of you weren't able to get the Jigsaw puzzle and you really wanted to do it, and I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you can get the next one and join us for the fourth Battle of the YouTube Puzzlers. Recently, someone sent me a link to their speed puzzling database is what I'll call it. It's myspeedpuzzling.com. It was originally a website all in Czech, based in the Czech Republic, but they've translated it to English. And so I signed up an account and I started entering all my speed puzzling times. And it's an amazing database. You can add puzzles that are not already entered by someone else. You can add brands that are not already there. You can see other people's times, fastest times, enter pairs times, solo times, or team times. There's so much information, but it's very easy to use. Easy to make an account, easy to record your times. There's even a stopwatch function. And I just thought it was really, really cool. So I've been entering all my times, and Allison's been entering all her times, and I entered in all our pairs time, and there's like 500 pieces versus 1,000 pieces. And we actually were in the top 10 for pairs 500 piece and pairs 1,000 piece. So I quickly took a screenshot because the site is becoming more and more popular and more people are entering times. And I know we're gonna get bumped off that leaderboard for being in the top 10. So I had to take a screenshot and share with you all because I was very proud. So definitely, if you want a nice, easy website to use, just a database to enter in your times, go check out myspeedpuzzling.com. Now, of course, it's just been translated to English, so there may be issues with grammar or translation. If so, just message them. I've messaged them about a few things and they've made some changes, and they're very open to feedback as well. So got some feedback from some Australian friends about how they show the fastest time per puzzle and the average time, and they're working all that. They do have some stats that they share as well. So yeah, they're very open to suggestions. Great website. I love it. I spend way too many hours on it. Better than my spreadsheet, that's for sure. And so good, yeah, just go check it out, myspeedpuzzling.com. I'll leave a link in the description below to their website as well as to their Instagram. Finally, my last piece of speed puzzling news is that I will be traveling to Canada to participate in their national competition put on by the Canadian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. It's in Georgetown, Ontario, which is part of the Greater Toronto Area, May 4th and 5th. I'm so very excited. I'll be doing individuals, pairs, and teams. Now, I will admit, I'm really proud of my time that I just did on this Educa, but I've maybe lost a bit of confidence when it comes to individuals. I think the Masters games really chopped me at the knees. And so I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed about doing individuals. It's just the pressure I put on myself, like no one else is pressuring me. And I know I'm going to be tired and jet lagged, but I'm just going to be so excited to meet everyone. I know so many of you are going to be there and going. And so I was debating whether or not to do individuals, and I thought, Donnalouise, you're going all that way, do individuals. It doesn't matter if you don't finish the puzzle, just have fun. And that's what I have to remind myself. Like, it's okay to be competitive. Be competitive as much as you want to be, as long as it's healthy for you and you're not being unhealthy towards other people. So my competition is often just towards me, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed, and I do let the puzzle and the puzzle brand dictate, how I feel in the moment. So I'm actually really pleased that it was an Educa that caught me by surprise and that I did quite well. And the Lupins at Worlds was really good for me to get, because that also caught me by surprise. And so now, although Masters, I wasn't prepared for that. Let's face it, I really wasn't. That was next level. And maybe that's an outlier and I just have to move that experience off to the side. In Canada, I know that the puzzles will be a Ravensburger brand. Their big sponsors are Ravensburger and Puzzles Canada. I can't wait to go to that store and meet everyone, and I think I'm just going to live in that store. Also, going to Canada gives me the opportunity to visit my family that I haven't seen for years, as well as try to buy newer Jigsaw puzzles to practice for Worlds, because here in New Zealand, we still don't have any circle Ravensburger puzzles readily available to buy. You have to import them in and pay crazy shipping costs. So going to Canada, literally my suitcase is going to be socks, underwear, toothbrush, and puzzles. Nothing else matters. It's puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. So hopefully I can find a lot to bring back. So I'm excited to go. I'm a bit nervous too, but that's my own pressure I put on myself, and I need to stop doing that. I need to realize that I'm okay at speed puzzling. Sometimes I'll do better than others. Sometimes I'll like the brand better than others. Sometimes I'll like the image better than others, and it's okay. I know I'm never going to be in the top, and I may be at the bottom sometimes, and it's all right, because when it comes down to it, I really do enjoy it. And the best part for me is meeting everyone. So I can't wait to go to the Canadian Nationals. If you're there, make sure to come say hi. We'll chat, try to do some puzzling. It's just going to be so much fun. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. For the love of puzzles, I hope you enjoy my videos. Please consider subscribing. And until next time, ciao. I sped run and is it Educa or Educa? It's a Spanish company. Educación, that's a hard D. Educa. Ooh, can someone leave a comment below and let me know how is the brand actually properly pronounced? Because I don't like intentionally mispronouncing things. Educa? Educa. I'm thinking hard D. Educa. Educa? No, Educa. Oh, someone must know. Someone from Spain, please tell me, how's the brand pronounced?